Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to what promises to be actually a really cool flight. So I've done this before. We are in Grenada. I haven't done quite this before, but we are in Grenada in the Britten Norman Islander, as you can see. And what we're doing is I've done 2 island hopping videos up the Grenadines. But what I did was I did them kind of from the Grenadines to the Grenadines, whereas today what I'm going to do is go from Grenada, which is this place where we are now, Maurice Bishop International Airport, which I own, as this is a payware airport, and we're going to hop up the island chain to, let me see, let me give you a preview here. We're going to go to Carriacou, which is Lauriston. We're going to go to Union Island, then we're going to go to Canouan, then we're going to go to Mustique, then we're going to go to JF Mitchell and Bequia, and then we're going to go to St. Vincent, Argyle International Airport on St. Vincent. I just purchased the Grenadines package, volumes 1 and 2 from D-Sky through Aerosoft. And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are going to go hop we're going to go hop 7 Caribbean airports that are all payware, which is really pretty cool. Alright, external power supply on, rotating beacon on, mixtures and props full forward, master and battery switches on, avionics masters on, fuel valves open, fuel pumps on. It keeps going and going and going, does it not? Alright, magnetos on number 2. Let's make sure there's nobody outside to kill or maim. I do not see anybody. We go starboard engine first. We have a good start. Manifold pressure is good. Oil pressure is good. Left engine is clear. Good start. Manifold pressure is good. Oil pressure is good. Let's go magnetos to both. Let's close the starter hood cover. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. Let's lean the mixtures for taxi. And we are in MSFS version 1.30.7, which is the new beta, the avionics beta. I mean, which I know is like, you know, it's a real thrill. Although, from what I understand, this one is really going to be pretty special. 1013 is the temperature, is the dew point, is the altimeter setting. Alright, now with strobe lights on, there is no taxi light, but I flipped this switch anyway. Let's turn the external power supply off. Got the engine sounds turned down. I cannot bring myself to put what's the, I just completely lost my train of thought. Oh, I can't bring myself to use headphone simulation in this airplane because you just want to hear this airplane. Let's real quickly here go 0. Alright, 122.8. I suppose there's one airport right there that we sort of missed on this whole process. 122.8, but not really. Alright, so. Alright, let's see. Maurice Bishop traffic. Islander Anguilla 264 is taxiing to runway 10. Maurice Bishop. Okay, there's a worthless radio call. The parking brake is released, so we don't make a fool of ourselves. Although I'm sure I'm going to make a fool of myself at some point. I just want to do it like right off the bat. So, like I said, I've done sort of this trip before. But I started at what's the airport we're going to here? The next airport we're going to here. I started the trip that time at Carriacou, Lauriston, and I want to say I do not take a lot of pride or a lot of joy in having bought these two Airsoft packages and deleted the freeware versions of the airports that I had, because the freeware airports were awesome. I mean, especially Mustique. I'll never try to get you guys to buy anything. In fact, don't be like me and just go buy every freaking airport in the world. I mean, I buy all the Caribbean airports when they're on sale. Basically, let's have a look here real quick. I mean, this is not the most, there's not a lot to this airport. So there's not a lot to do, but they've done a really good job. Like, I just think it's cool to have them. I just think it's great that they're available. So you will never see me complaining about any of these airports down here. I think they're fantastic. Just grateful that we have them, we can use them. So anyway, I started this trip. I've done this trip twice in the 152. Those are, if you search my playlist of Microsoft Flight Simulator flights by views, you'll see those two, because they're two of the most watched flights. And I'm not going to go down the entire way. Maurice Bishop traffic, Anguilla 264 taking off runway 10 straight out departure. Maurice Bishop. Alright, mixtures and props full forward. Let's go fuel pumps on. This is a 10,000 foot runway. There's no reason to back taxi all the way down there just to do this. Alright, takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is live, 65 knots, and rotate. Oh, come on, baby. You know you want to fly. Alright, 2 feet, bring those flaps up, bring the props back a little bit. Manifold pressure back to 25 inches. I'm going to bring in some trim here. I'm going to keep bringing in trim apparently. Okay. And there we have Maurice Bishop Airport. This is the island of Grenada. I want to go here. Off in the distance down there is Trinidad. Sort of want to go there. I'm talking in real life now. So let's turn off our fuel pumps, 1000 feet AGL. We'll check our fuel pressures. Fuel pressures are looking good. I'm going to keep increasing our manifold pressure in climb. Once we hit Lauriston, then it's going to get hopping. Until we get to Lauriston, it's going to be a little bit kind of slow going. I mean, we're just once we get to Lauriston and make this first landing, it's going to be hop, 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 hop. Really quick short hops in the plane. To wake my dog up. He's making dog sleeping noises. Alright, keep an eye on the manifold pressure in the climb. Alright, lights are on. And so the way this whole thing started today, anyway, is that I know I've been looking at the Grenadines volumes 1 and 2 for quite a while now. One of the things that has sort of made me, you can get them on, I got them on Sim Market, but you can get them from Aerosoft. Aerosoft is kind of strange. I think there's like a bunch of developers that kind of develop like under the Aerosoft brand. I don't know, but this is supposedly from an outfit called D Sky. And anyway, you can get them through Aerosoft, from Aerosoft, by Aerosoft. And I've been looking at them for a while. And frankly, the reason why I haven't bought them is because the freeware versions are so good. And I think really, I picked them up both today for like, so there's Grenadines Volume 1 and there's Grenadines Volume 2. There's 5 airports between Grenada and St. Vincent, and those are the Grenadine Islands. The country is St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are going to fly the Grenadine Islands today. And they are Canouan, Union Island, Lauriston, Mustique, and Bequia. Pardon me if I'm butchering the name of your country, or part of your country. Part of the so one of the packages, Grenadines Volume 1, I think has 3 of the airports, and Grenadines Volume 2 has the other 2. One of the reasons why I decided to go ahead and just buy these today is because then you don't have to update 5 different airports all the time. Plus they look, I mean, they're good. Grenada is looking gorgeous. So I have to admit I'm not a fan of having these engines turned down this much. There is a specific reason why. I'll let you see if you can figure it out. So I think this airport coming up right here on the left is defunct. I don't believe it's any longer in operation, and I think what the story is it is now used for drag racing cars, I do believe. It used to be called Pearls Airport. The runway is still there. I did a landing there in my series of Lost Caribbean airports, of which there are many actually, and some of them are so cool. Some of them are really, really cool. I think any airport that kind of like that ends up right by the water, like this one does, is just cool stuff. I think I've actually leaned these mixtures. Bring that fuel burn down because I'm burning fuel like it's going out of style. So that's now used for drag racing, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that it at one point was, I think it was a World War II base, and it was used for World War II stuff now. It was, I think there's a crashed World War II plane there. I might be wrong about that, DC-3. There's the change in direction of the mixture needles, or the EGT needles. So I'll push that back forward. I don't know why. I mean, I guess running 13 gallons a side isn't too bad. I think it's more than this airplane generally will burn. And the sound of that electronic drive, whatever it is driving me nuts. And as my girlfriend would say, that's not a very long trip, driving me nuts. So let's go aircraft, user interface, environment, aircraft miscellaneous. Let's try bringing that down and see if that stops that. It helps. Okay. Sorry for the brief interlude, but there was this like electric buzzing sound that was driving me mad. So, let's see here. Would I venture to guess that we are... That would be a cool feature for... Navigraph, is if you could measure distances on the charts. That would be a really cool feature. Because you currently cannot do that. And like if you're doing multiple I mean, if you're hopping multiple airports, I mean, you really have to do it in the touch GPS. I mean, if you do it in the 5. Trying to redo flight plans in the 530 is a fool's errand. Just, you know, pressing all these buttons and switching, it's just a pain. So I'm going to guess we are 10 miles south of Lauriston, and make our radio call. Runway 9er. Lauriston traffic, Anguilla 264 is 10 miles to the south. Inbound runway 9er will be making a right base to runway 9, Lauriston. So, go check out Lauriston Airport. Elevation 5 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's pretty low. Let's get our, let's see, runway is 2,600 feet long. Alright, temperature 290.27, altimeter 1013. All good. All good, good, good. And we're probably really more like 5 miles from south of Lauriston. I'm hoping that by the time we get to Argyle in St. Vincent, that the sun will be sort of going down, because that would be really pretty cool. So, we shall begin our descent. The airport is on the other side of that peninsula that's kind of sticking out the furthest there. And as per usual in Microsoft Flight Simulator, the plane's nose is going up and down and up and down and up and down, which is annoying. As we come down, of course, the manifold pressure will increase, so you do have to adjust for that. So, let's see what we get here. I'm excited to see this little airport. I think it's going to be very, very cool. I think all these airports are going to be really, really cool. And I think this airplane needs to be convinced to actually descend. No, I really mean it. Lauriston traffic, Anguilla 264 is on a 5-mile right base, runway 09er Lauriston. That's just for the coolness of that view right there. No. The button that I used to get back into the inside view is the same button that is right next to the escape button. That's what happened right there. So let's get the nose up here a little bit so we can bring in some flaps. And as with this airplane, I mean, you really can just kind of angle it in a little bit more, because it does come down like a stone. So I'll talk a little bit more about my new rig, my new computer here as we go along. So, Lauriston traffic in Willow 264, 3 mile right base, runway 09er, Lauriston. I haven't really gotten a whole lot of time to fly. There's a national holiday on Friday, which was my birthday. Okay, so it wasn't a national holiday, but it was my birthday on Friday. And so we spent the entire day getting ready for that. Had my father and some friends over for dinner, which is really nice because you don't really do that sort of thing all that often anymore with COVID. And Saturday we sort of did nothing. And Sunday took a drive up into the snowy hills. And today is Monday. I'm on vacation this week, so expect some flying. Lauriston traffic, Anguilla 264, turning a 3 mile final, runway 09er Lauriston. Alright, so what we want to do is turn our fuel pumps on. Mixture's full rich. And we want to get back into flap range. Not going to put in that next notch of flaps quite yet. We're going to mix props for forward and actually bring in some throttle here. Let's get a little bit of wind off the left. The reason I'm bringing in some throttle is because I want to flatten this out a little bit, and I didn't want the airspeed to increase, so we will now go flaps full. Lauriston traffic, Anguilla 264 short final, runway 09er Lauriston. These little airports are tricky. Definitely a bit of a left crosswind. Definitely a huge approach jet at the at the airport, which is of course not realistic. Not the greatest landing in the world. I just didn't have a feel for that landing. Just never really felt like I had a feel for that landing. Alright, let's lean the mixtures for taxi. Put the flaps up. It's never really felt like I had a feel for that landing. And here we are at Lauriston Airfield. Lauriston traffic and Willow 264 is clear the runway, Lauriston. And there's a big generator in the middle. I got this this add-on that does the airport equipment. Kind of updates the airport equipment for the region, and I'm suspecting that is that's the result of that right there. So let's let's stop here real quick. I'm not gonna stop the airplane. You know, like I said, these aren't like the most dramatic airports in the world, but I love these little island airports. I really do. Departure and arrival's all awesome. So let's get out of here. Definitely need to back taxi on this one. I do not see any traffic. I don't see anybody on the runway. Lauriston trafficking with a 264 back taxiing runway 9er full length for departure. Lauriston. Lights are all on. Always want to taxi down center line with your lights on, your landing lights on, because you want to be visible. If you are on an active runway, you want to be conspicuous. This next flight is going to be real quick. Real quick. And this is going to be one of the... There's a couple of these little airports. Actually, I mean, I really think this is probably... This one here is probably the least interesting of them. Even though I hate to say that about this airport, because I actually do find it interesting. I left my fuel pumps on the entire time. Just unnecessary. Alright, let's get ourselves turned like this. Alright, I'm gonna go mixtures full forward, props are full forward. Fuel pumps, let's go flap set for takeoff. Trim is good for takeoff. Alright. Lauriston traffic, Anguilla 264 taking off, runway 9er, left crosswind departure to the north. Lauriston. Alright, runway 9er checks with the heading indicator. Alright, bring in the brakes. Set the takeoff power set. Engine instruments are in the green. Release the brakes. On a semi-soft field departure, or short field departure. Airspeed is alive. 65 knots. And the airplane just flies itself right off the ground. Actually, it wasn't even a semi-short field departure. That was a short field departure. And this airplane. Wow, look at that. Flaps up, but look at that. Cool. The airplane's gonna stall if I go outside right now. Which of course I don't want to have happen. I'm trying to roll in as much trim as humanly possible here. So I can get some airspeed and go outside to have a look here, because this looks really pretty cool. See that? They've done a little harbor here. And that's what I think they've also done on this trip, or these islands, is added these little I did something wrong. I misread my trim really badly. And that's my problem. Union Island traffic, Anguilla 264 is 5 miles to the south inbound runway 8, Union Island. I completely misread what the trim was doing. And we're gonna go flaps, set for takeoff, go, fuel pumps on, and there we go. A poorly trimmed airplane is extremely difficult to handle. Trim is your friend when you're flying, it really is. Now that still fighting that trim. That's why a trim runaway can be such a dangerous situation. It's a pain to handle, it really is. Fuel pumps on, mixtures are rich. Union Island traffic, Anguilla 264, 3 mile final runway 8, Union Island. And this is a cool approach. This is going to be a neat approach. And I want to put those full flaps in. out here. Alright, mixtures and props forward. And I know that at some point this thing is, the airspeed's going to die and the plane is just going to start plummeting. Two things it is refusing to do right now. See that? Airspeed is dropped right off, and now it's going to Union Island, trafficking with a 264 short final 08 Union Island. I knew that at some point that airplane was going to run out of airspeed and the bottom was going to drop out. And I kind of figured it would happen a little higher than it did. What it happened at about 50 feet off the ground, which is the worst time to have it happen. And so, Union Island, trafficking with a 264, clear the runway Union Island. And that's why I kind of jammed the throttles in there at the end. That whole flight right there was just a battle with the you know how I've mentioned to you guys before that the worst thing that can happen if you lean the mixtures too much is the plane will just cut out? Well, guess what? That's what just happened. The engine's just cut out, which is really no big deal. Gauge the shouldn't be a big deal anyway. The pumps are on, fuel is on. So I just proved my own theory. And what happened was that when I yanked when I turned the fuel pumps off, the mixture was so lean that the engine just died, and that's no big deal. It's really no big deal. In a real airplane, that wouldn't be ideal, because then you've got to do a hot start, which isn't ideal. Alright, let's turn the fuel pumps off again. Let's close that. I would never sit here leaving the engines running like this in a real airplane, but this looks really cool. Look at this little fire tower, control tower, the arrival and entry hall. You can tell that this stuff is custom. How cool. That is such a Caribbean building. And over here you got a little building over there. tell all this is custom. You can tell the harbor is custom. These roads and stuff. So that's a really great airport. What a great airport. So thumbs up for this one. Thumbs up big time for this one. So let's continue on our way, on our tour. What a cool little airport. Union Island traffic, Anguilla 264, back taxiing runway 8, full length for departure, Union Island. Okay, let's make sure there's nobody coming in here. Extras are lean. Let's go. One notch of flaps for takeoff. Lights are on. Let's take a pause right here. Well, not pause, I guess, but have a little look at this side of the airport. So cool. I love it. I really wish I would take the time to do a little video, like a little drone camera run around each of these little airports, but that would make this flight about 3.5 hours long. And I don't know if you guys have the patience for that. So, alright. You can definitely tell that these buildings on this end down here are custom as well. See that white building there ahead? Those are definitely custom. Stop here. Just gonna hop out, as it were, and have a quick look. That's definitely a custom building. That's really cool. Got the all the boats in the harbor, which is awesome. Really neat. Really neat. And everyone, you know what's funny is every once in a while you will get a call from tower telling you, "Hey, careful! There's a mast in the runway." Like, you know, in the extended runway center line for takeoff or landing. All right, now see, this is what I did before that I screwed up. I looked here and I thought this needle was by the takeoff, and I was like, "Oh, cool." Well, guess what? That red line is where is what the trim is. So as you can tell, I'm like way trimmed. Nose up. So it's gonna take me all day to trim for takeoff. Let's get that up there. Alright, trim is set for takeoff, and that's really an important thing to be cognizant of as you fly. So mixtures and props, full forward, lights are on, flaps are set, fuel pumps coming on. Let's see, we're going to be taking a left turnout. Union Island traffic, Anguilla 264, taking off runway 8, going to be a left crosswind departure, Union Island. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 70 knots. And rotate. Such a cool airport with the rocks there, which is really neat. Waves. Airport plans. Alright, now let's bring the flaps up. Bring the nose up. And boy, if anybody was flying with me today, they'd be sick to their stomach, probably. So it's going to go up to 1,000 feet for this hop. don't even need to turn the fuel pumps off. Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, 3 miles to the south, inbound runway. Inbound full stop, Canouan. Okay, so now that I clearly don't know what the runway number is, no reason to waste everybody's time on the radio. Cool little village down there. That's really pretty neat. Okay, I don't want to climb anymore, if you don't mind. There's something I can do to convince you not to climb anymore. And that first notch of flaps. Jeez, I mean the airplane is just going up and up and up and up and up. At some point, knock it off. Alright, runway 13. 1014. Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, 3 mile right base runway 13, Canouan. Please somebody tell me how to properly say that if you do know. Because it is not my intention to butcher the name of every island in the Grenadines. Fuel pumps are on, takeoff flaps are set. This is another really kind of a cool airport in my opinion. Sort of, I don't know if iconic is the right word, but you know, it's only in the sense that it's not as well known as some of the other airports, but I think this one's a really cool one. Alright, make sure some props full forward. Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, turning mile final for runway 13, Canouan. Make sure some props are full forward, I don't know why. Nice stiff crosswind here. Not the best crosswind landing you'll ever see, but not the worst either. Now this is a cool airport. This is one of the really neat ones. Lean the mixtures, put the flaps up. Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, clear the runway, Canouan. And we've got a little bit of time. I think this one deserves. This one is really a pretty cool airport. Deserves a little bit of a look. Mixture's lean. Let's turn the fuel pumps off. Parking brake on. This is terrible practice on how to treat an airplane. But really cool terminal building. Got a nice tower, nice fire truck. The building down there in the end. This is really pretty cool. This is pretty neat. You got the flag flying there. Looks beautiful. Really beautiful. Try to take a look a little bit more as we head out. But again, I think a really cool little terminal building. So, let's get our nose back in the airplane here. Let's get this thing trimmed again. Alright, so mixtures are leaned. Alright, let's release the parking brake. Again, this is not how you would really want to do this, but given kind of what we've got here, it really is great. Let's see, traffic, Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, back taxiing runway 13, full length for departure, Canouan. One of the reasons I want to back taxi the full length of this runway is because it's a great, I think there's some additional detail down here at this end. Now when you are taxiing in a crosswind, you want to put full crosswind correction in. There's two things. Well, first of all, Microsoft Flight Simulator does a poor job of simulating crosswind ground control of an aircraft. Slow the plane down here a little bit. You can see the full aileron deflections here. Microsoft Flight Simulator does a poor job of simulating ground control for whatever reason. There's two things that you can never have a little of. One of them is a crosswind correction, aileron correction on the ground. You want full crosswind correction at all times. You don't want to be doing it like this. If you need a crosswind correction, do it like that. And number 2 is carb heat. Unless you have a carb ice, stretch my neck here a little bit. Unless you have a carburetor heat temperature gauge, a carb temperature gauge, there is no such thing as partial carb heat. It is like being a little bit pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant. You use full aileron correction into the wind, and you use full carb heat when you use carb heat. This airplane does have a carb ice or carb temperature gauge, and if that is the case, then you can use as much carburetor heat as you need to keep it from icing. Of course, the reason why you wouldn't want to use full carb heat if you don't have to is because carb heat makes your engine run rich and robs you of power, right? That's why when you're flying a Cessna 152 with the Continental engine, the first power reduction is simply turning on the carb heat, because you turn on the carb heat and you're going to lose 200 RPM. So get us full length here. And again, you can see the rocks there, end of the runway. Come over here and stop and give us a quick look outside. You can see the rocks at the end of the runway. Those huts down there are definitely added with this scenery. Really, really cool. Sorry, this is an awesome scenery in my opinion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go mixtures and props full forward. Fuel pumps are on. Takeoff flaps are set. Okay. Canouan traffic, Anguilla 264, taking off runway 13, left crosswind departure to the north, Canouan. Now this will show you, I'll show you how poorly Microsoft Flight Simulator handles crosswind corrections on the ground. At least it always has. I don't even bother trying anymore. So we've got the full crosswind correction in, and you would do this. This is how you would do it if you were flying this airplane for real. Takeoff power coming in, you get that full aileron correction in. Engine instruments in the green, airspeed is alive. And I will be, as my Aunt Mary would say, I will be dipped in doo-doo and rolled in nuts. It worked. That is how aileron correction ground control should work. And it actually works properly, and I am stunned. Also, crashed this airplane trying to look backwards at our scenery. So why don't I just stop doing that? And there you can see more, definitely, custom buildings. Custom building types. I'm sure that, see that antenna tower right there? There's no question that is part of this scenery as well, for sure. You can see the piers over on the other side. How cool is that? And Now this is going to be probably the trickiest landing of the day here. This island upcoming is Mustique Island. And Mustique Island is a really, really cool approach. And I am trimming and trimming and trimming for the rest of my life. I figure at some point the airplane will stop climbing. But clearly we haven't reached that point yet. Airport elevation 9 feet, altimeter 1094, alright, 1014. Runway 9er! And wait till you see this one, guys. If you haven't seen Mustique Island, first of all, there is a fantastic three-layer scenery of Mustique Island. Place in Patio, and this is perhaps the one that I really the freeware one that I really felt bad about. Getting rid of. Because this one is just awesome. It really is. It's a really, really cool airport, the freeware one. Mustique Island traffic, Anguilla 264 is 5 miles to the south, inbound runway 9er, Mustique. One of the things you can do, kind of help yourself plan a visual approach. So you know it's runway 9er. So where's the runway? Runway is like this, right? So that east is 9090. So I'm kind of coming in at this angle to the runway. And it just helps you visualize I would love to talk to a pilot who flies into this airport on a regular basis. Find out what his take is, or her take is. How to fly this approach really well, because this one's tricky. One way to make sure you don't forget your fuel pumps on approach is to leave them on after takeoff. Like I saw Flight Simulator is going to be doing its nose up, nose down gig again here. Mustique Island traffic, Anguilla 264, turning a 3-mile final runway 9er, Mustique. see how, you know, the runway is aligned the way we expected it to be, given our review earlier of the winds are 060 at 12. Any airport on this little trip here where go around is a distinct possibility. It's this one. Props full forward. Still bringing that nose up to get it in the flap range here. Alright, notch of flaps is set. I'm gonna try to get this thing trimmed for 70. And then control the descent rate with power. It's really, you want to be precise in your handling in this kind of a runway. Pulling some power back and holding the nose up to keep that, get that speed off. A little too much, so I'll push the nose down a little bit. Alright, flaps are set, fuel pumps are on. See, I'll push the nose down and get a little bit of speed because I just don't like in this airplane being slow and kind of out of energy. And let's see. Mustique Island traffic, equal to 264, short final runway 9er. Mustique. This might look like a good approach right now, doesn't feel like a good approach. Alright, airspeed is pretty good. See, I just kind of feel like sometimes with this plane you're kind of teetering on the edge of a cliff. So we're looking good on that Vassie. Why is that a Vassie and not a Pappy? It's because power all the way out and get the stupid nose down. The reason it is a Vassie and not a Pappy is because it's 2 lights and not 4. Okay. that was like a helicopter landing. You know, this is a rugged airplane. I mean, it's unfortunate when you have to say that after one of your landings. This airplane's rugged. You shouldn't rely on the ruggedness of your airplane to survive your landings. But I mean, I think that approach was not bad. I mean, I felt like before we made landfall, as it were, that it just felt like it was about to kind of collapse and just fall. And then once we got over the terrain, sort of the opposite happened, and it got some updrafts and started to float. But all things considered, I think we did okay. I'm going to lean the mixtures here, put on the parking brake, and we'll take another quick look at this airport. You know what's funny is I thought to myself, the one airport that I think is where the freeware is going to be as good or better than the payware is going to be this one. I'm actually quite surprised at how good this one is. I mean, I'm not surprised how good this one is. I'm surprised that I'm as impressed with it, given how good the freeware version of this airport is, because the freeware version of this airport is superb. It is superb. If you don't feel like spending $10 to get this airport, don't beat yourself up over it. Don't buy it. Go get the one on flightsim.to. It is fantastic. However, this one, this freeware or this payware version is awesome. I'm really sort of surprised at how cool I find this. Beautiful, really an awesome airport. So let's continue on our way. We've got JF Mitchell Airport next on Bequia. Let's get our takeoff trim set. I'm starting to figure out. This airplane really likes actually a bit of nose down trim on takeoff. I'm going to try it with just a little bit of nose down trim. Alright, let's go. Parking brakes released. Alright. See you later, dudes. Great little airport. Awesome little airport. That's gonna be a cool house. That looks like it's modeled to match like kind of a well-known house that's there. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Really cool airport. Alright. Mustique Island traffic and Willa 264 back taxi runway 9 or full length for departure Mustique. And this is one of the really cool parts of this. Wait till you see this. Of this airport. Wait till you see this. Alright, we'll go flaps, fuel pumps rather. Actually, no, you know what? This thing likes a little bit of nose up trim. Look at this. I don't know if we got enough engine power to get up here. See, they want you to make a right turn. See that? I want you to make a right turn there and come over. Square it off to the left, but I don't like doing that. I like coming up. Making the left turn so that I can see the final approach course. So let's take a quick look at this. Check this out. It's like straight down now. Oopsie. That's not what I meant to do. I just hit that button again, the escape button by mistake. Got people hanging out. Watching the airplanes ready to go. Alright, mixtures and props. Full forward, fuel pumps around, flaps are set. And Mustique traffic and Willa 264 taking off runway 9er. be left crosswind departure to the north, Mustique. And look at that. As soon as we get to the bottom of the hill, we're ready to go. And this is how they do this takeoff. They make the climb out off to the right here. Okay, I really want to keep it to 1,000 feet on this one. Alright, fuel pumps off. There is St. Vincent. So Mitchell is runway 12 070 at 11. So those winds are going to be interesting. Will you stop climbing? Gets annoying after a while. Mitchell traffic, Anguilla 264, right downwind, runway 12, Mitchell. Not exactly a downwind, and the way you can tell is you would be going in the reciprocal of your runway direction. So runway 12, reciprocal is 30. But the easy way to do it for us dumb people, if you want to know what your downwind is, and it's runway 12, just put that 12 right here on the bottom of your heading indicator, and you know you're on a downwind. And that's one of the things that's it's kind of advantageous about steam gauges. I don't know why they call them steam gauges. There's no steam involved. That kind of old, but so I'm gonna put the 12 right here in your downwind. I'm going to put the 12 right here on your base leg. That's how you'll know you're on a good base leg. A lot of the, as a matter of fact, you know, these, you know, these things nowadays, I'm not even gonna bother with it. A lot of them are HSIs, horizontal situation indicators, which horizontal situation indicator. Is like the VOR indicator, except for it also has the faceplate rotates, so it just gives you a really good idea of your horizontal situation, which is why it's called a horizontal situation indicator. It just gives you a better overview of a better visualization of your position, as it were. So this one's a tricky one too, only because Mitchell traffic in Wheeler 264 turning a 2-mile final runway 12 Mitchell. Alright, make sure some props for kind of gotta hug these hills here coming in. What are you being snotty for? See, now the plane's just gonna do this, and then it's gonna fall off like going down a roller coaster. Make sure some props forward. Fuel pumps out, flaps are set. And that vertical speed drops and the airspeed increases. That's when I want to reduce manifold pressure and pull the nose up, because I gotta get some energy out of the equation. Remember, landing airplanes is about managing energy. Mitchell traffic in Wheeler 264 short final runway 12 Mitchell. And I'm 4 whites right here. I don't feel like I'm 4 whites though. Sometimes you're 4 whites and you feel I'm really high. I don't get that feeling right now. There's 1 red, we're gonna get 2 real quick, see that? What I don't want is 3. Rather see another white one come up. Love the landing lights in the water, that's really cool. Now that we're a little bit closer, I'm happy to take some power out. Plenty of runway. A little bit of speed you gotta get rid of. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a good crosswind landing. And you see how I put in that full aileron deflection right there? And see how the plane is leaning? The plane is leaning to the left. Or, it shouldn't do that in real life. It wouldn't do that. You can put in that correction and you're not going to get that lean feeling. And as you turn it into the wind, you release that crosswind correction. Now this is a cool looking airport. Check this out. How cool. Mitchell traffic in Wheeler 264 is clear of the runway, Mitchell. Bet you guys didn't know that Turkish Airlines flew here, did you? Look at this. A little... jeez. A little table out there. An umbrella. Oh man, is that cool. Oh, it's Virgin. Okay, never mind. That was Turkish Airlines. This is just awesome. Oh man. Alright, you know what? I'm actually really surprised. I was expecting these to be decent, but nothing crazy. I am really, really quite pleasantly surprised. You see these all over the Caribbean, these outdoor sort of the flowers they've even got. I mean, those are so realistic for this area. Got the picnic table and the umbrella. It's just fantastic. It's just fantastic. I'm genuinely stunned. I really am. I think these, I mean, a little cafe probably here where you got people sitting outside. Just the splash of color from the flowers and it's just awesome. Just awesome. I am thoroughly impressed with this with these sceneries. I really am. Just genuinely thoroughly impressed. Did not expect at all to find these airports to be this good. And flying wise, it makes it better as well, because you're C1014, because the runways and the approaches are clearer and just a little bit more well integrated into the scenery. I don't know if that's a proper way to describe it. But that approach in... Again, there's a good freeware version of this. Engage brakes, release the parking brake. There's a good freeware version of this airport. Not as good as the freeware Mustique, but there's a good freeware version of this airport. And this is just the way it's built into the hill. It is just a little bit better. It is actually quite a little bit better than the freeware version. And the fact that I'm this impressed by these airports is not a knock on the freeware ones. It actually should tell you how good the freeware airports are, that I'm this impressed with these, because the freeware airports for these last few islands that we've gone to, just phenomenal. JF Mitchell traffic, Anguilla 264 back taxiing runway 12 full length for departure. JF Mitchell. They are excellent. Turn the lights on. And that's why I'm so surprised, frankly, at how much better these are, because I just didn't think. I just kind of thought for $10, you know, that they would just be sort of, I don't want to use bad language on YouTube, they'd be kind of half done, if you know what I mean. You know the word that I'm not saying. And that's another cool thing. Look at that. Hold on. Let me slow down here just a little bit. These buildings in the Caribbean, you see them all over the place. These little stilted buildings are so cool. That's definitely handcrafted into the scenery. So I mean, I just think they really put effort into this. They really put some effort into these sceneries, and it shows. I mean, they're just tremendous. Really tremendous. very, very, very happy with this. You know, like I said, I said to myself, you know, why bother? The freeways are so good. And they are. And go, save yourself 20 bucks. It costs about 20 or 25 bucks to buy these 5 airports, these 5 little ones. I like them so much. I'm going to tell you to don't buy them. Go get the freeware ones off flightsim.to, because I really want to keep supporting the guys that are doing these little airports in the Caribbean for free, because it's just awesome that they're doing it, and they deserve some props and a good pat in the back for what they've done. Fuel pumps on. Flap set for takeoff. And here we go. Mixtures and props are forward. And that's kind of why I'm so just jazzed about the Caribbean, is that these places were just forgotten in every flight simulator ever until Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Alright, heading indicator checks with the runway number, sort of. Yeah. We'll talk about that some other time. Takeoff power coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is coming alive, accelerating normally. 60, 70 knots, and rotate. What I was referring to there, that we're going to talk about some other time. Great airport is gyroscopic drift. Which I'm assuming you guys know all about. And the water rules, because you guys are knowledgeable and exceptional sim pilots. You guys know what gyroscopic drift is, don't you? Don't you? Gyroscopic drift is it every 15 minutes or so? Look at that. God, hold on. See over on the other side there. Every 15 minutes, I can't remember. But anyway, you gotta keep referencing your magnetic compass. And double checking that against your heading, or double checking your heading indicator against your gyroscopic, or against your magnetic compass every once in a while. I can't help myself to go over and check this out. Because this looks so cool. Because otherwise you're that. One of the things that I find value in doing these videos is not only showing you these really cool places to fly, but I generally don't really have any plan for what I want to talk about, and it invariably turns into something aviation related for obvious reasons. And the cool part about it for me is that it keeps these things, if not fresh in my head, it keeps them in my head. The idea of having to think about gyroscopic drift, how it happens, why it happens. Look at this. And I fly an airplane now that doesn't have gyroscopic drift because the airplane I fly has a Garmin G5. It has two Garmin G5s, in fact. And so there is no gyroscopic drift. It is solid state. Gee, I mean, I'm just blown away. This is part of the scenery. This is these boats and that dock. See that harbor right there is part of the scenery from these airports. And it just kind of, like, I mean, I know kind of the effects of gyroscopic drift and how and what the result is, but I don't really feel like I'm current enough in that knowledge to sit here and kind of tell you guys about it in a way that I'm confident will make you more knowledgeable. Which is a roundabout way of saying I don't know what I'm talking about. And so sometimes if I kind of, I don't know if mumble is the right word, but kind of I'm searching for my thoughts, it's because I'm thinking about whatever the subject is that I'm talking about. And we're basically on a final right now for this. There we go, I see it. Kind of thinking aloud. Thinking aloud is scary when you're recording it. It's like, Argyle traffic, Anguilla 264 is on a 5-mile final runway 4, Argyle. Fuel pumps are on. .070 to 11. There's the wind, altimeter 1014. And the last video I did, it did the let's talk about altimeters, and the reason was because I did 2 pumps are on, mixtures are rich. I'm gonna go props forward now. The reason is because I started doing a video and I randomly hit on the subject of altimeters and altimeter settings and the safety of altimeter settings, or safety issues related to altimeter settings, I guess you could say. And the video got interrupted. And so I decided that when I restarted the video, because I really wanted to do that video or do the flight that was in that video, I decided I would actually then do like a planned chatter on altimeters. I had no intention of talking about gyroscopic drift today, or horizontal situation indicators for that matter, which are really, really cool. Argyle trafficking with a 2643 mile final runway 04 Argyle, which are really, really cool. I'm going to see a red light here. I want to see at least one red light on the Pappy there on the left, and this is stronger than a 070 at 11 knots. This wind, in my opinion. I didn't expect to talk about either of those two things, but now that I've gotten the bug in my head, so what I'll do now is I'll go look into those two subjects so that I can come back and do a reasonable job at explaining them at least a little bit. You know, it isn't like a massive open line course here, but there we go. There's our one red. That's what we wanted. Argyle traffic with a 264 mile final runway 04 Argyle. I don't want that red dot to go away, and I don't mind if I get a second red, but I'm quite pleased. See, there's two. Yeah, right at the edge of two red. Argyle traffic with a 264 short final 04 Argyle, and if that goes away, then I'm taking some power out because I don't want 4 white. Gonna get 4 white from the looks of things. And see, this is you see the plane is just slowing down, and now the bottom is dropping out, which is what I don't want to have happen. Not really pleased with this landing, but it's going to be serviceable. Okay, we're going to need the mixtures here. For some reason, sometimes you get these purple. I've actually only seen the purple building, a purple person rather, at St. Bart's. I've never seen like this much purple stuff. This is another payware airport, and I was kind of hoping to end on a high. I think this has been a really cool video. But apparently we are going to end on a true high. Because we're all seeing purple. Argyle, traffic Anguilla 264, clear the runway at Bravo, Argyle. So I'm not really quite sure why everything is purple, but it is. We are going to put our flaps up because we are professional aviators. Turn our fuel pumps off. I'm not really sure what's up with the whole purple deal. But in any event, what you've seen before this anyway is 4 really cool, or no, 6 really cool Caribbean airports. Really 5. I mean, the Grenada airport isn't like the greatest in the world. This one really is good, which is unfortunate that it's got these really weird colors right now. But I am happy to have been able to show you the other airports. This is mixtures to idle cutoff. Throttles are at idle. Parking brake on. Lights off. Avionics master off before your mags off. Master and battery switches off. Let's let these poor sods off the plane who've been sitting here this entire time thinking, when do I get out of this airplane? The answer is now. Your time is now. Take a real quick look-see here at the Great Purple Airport. Yeah, for some reason, you know what I think it is? It's all the add-on. I don't know, the light posts are all purple too. But anyway, this is a really cool airport when it's not purple. This is also payware. And really cool taxiway work, as you can see. Kind of unique taxiway work, for sure, at the airport itself. But it's a really cool regional airport. Argyle International. And it's really well done when it's not pink. So, Royal Jordanian. So we will go back over here to our humble little Anguilla Air Services craft. And that was a fun flight. I am, like I said, really, oopsie. Sometimes this thing is too slow, and sometimes it's really too fast. Very, very impressed with these little airports. I'll put the I'll put the link to buy them in the description. I'm going to probably put the links to the freeware ones as well because I like to promote those guys. Those guys do a fantastic job. And there's a really cool flight, and shows just how it's not even potential anymore that the Caribbean has. It is here. It is here. It is now. It is flyable in all its glory, and it's just an awesome place to be, an awesome place to fly, and so many interesting things to do, so much challenging flying to do. Whether you're flying, single engine piston right up through, 737s, or 747s for that matter. Some really, really cool flying to be done in this area, and I just hope it gets its due attention because people, I think, don't really realize how much there is to offer down here. So I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk soon.